Okay, this is N2LEN with another quick video clip. I'm going to go in and show you once again. This is the TS-480, the S201 switch, which is now flipped to the up position. The rig was not powering on. This was a tech special. I just put the cover back on, and I noticed that whoever installed the voice guide, if you look right here, several of the wires were stuck. When they put the cover back on, the wires fell under the actual plate. And if I could get in there, you could clearly see the green wire was crushed. It is flat. The black wire was crushed a bit. You could see it's flattened. This other green wire was flattened a bit. And it looks like these four wires up on, no, even this green wire has a, all these wires were flattened by this plate, and I'm wondering if these wires shorted out. I could tell you that when I popped off the cover and I saw that this switch was flipped in the down position, and a lot of times it inadvertently gets flipped to the lower position, I believe, but I flipped it up and it's working. However, these wires were already loose, and when I tested it, this cover was off, and this covers CPU and the voice guide. So this cover has to go off. So whoever the prior owner, if those wires, if the radio works fine, I'm probably going to leave them. However, a good repair would be to splice, resolder, and some heat shrink on the wires that need it. I don't know yet. I may put a wire tie here and just hold it, but I'm going to test the radio again and confirm that it is the SO201 switch that is now in the up position. Even though it could have very well been grounding out this wire. I don't see it's really hard to tell if there's an actual, it doesn't look like the plastic has been pierced. Maybe, I'm really not sure. But just another thing, when you're putting stuff back together, be very careful that you don't tuck wire, and you can clearly see the plate where when the plate was put back in, it was put back under this ledge and then screwed down, and look at that. So it might have broken there. There might be. I don't know. I have to look really close. But it could have pierced that wire, which shorted out the radio from powering up. I'm going to flip the switch back down and go in and test the radio and see. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish closing up the radio. I want to put the RF shield for the PA assembly back, and we'll be back in 2 LEN. This is N2LEN with another quick follow-up video clip of the Kenwood TS-480 SAT. This radio was purchased. It was sold on QTH.com. Just the back of the radio. It was $100 shipped. Right now, it's up and running. This particular radio, the gentleman said that he purchased it used with the control panel. He was using it in the vehicle, and it just stopped working. The voice module is installed in it, and you could hear it. So on this one, we took apart the covers. We didn't know what was wrong with it. I don't even have a power cable for it. I just ordered one. As you can see, I literally, as a test, we brought in the 20 amp Astron, and I have a pair of alligator clips. Literally, But anyway, I have an antenna hooked up to it, real temporary. Opened up the radio, pulled off the metal RF shielding cover that covers the actual voice module, the voice guide unit. And right above it is a little micro switch, S201. That switch was in the down position. It intermittently gets switched when you remove that that RF shield cover. And that switch is for the firmware upgrade to put it into that cloning mode. So I flipped the switch up. There were a couple of wires that got signal wires that were compressed under a tab, but I hooked up an extension speaker, and we're running the ARCP-480 PC control software. No panel. As you can see, the little LED is lit. Let me shut off the radio. I'll show you how this runs just like the ARCP-2000. Let me bring the mouse over. I'll shut it off. That's off, and as you could see, the radio is off. The serial connection is still connected. Now it's completely disconnected. Only if power is applied to the radio. So if I shut off the DC current supply, we will not be able to connect the serial port. So now I'll connect the serial port. It's connected. It uses a standard DB9. I'm using a DB9 to USB interface that's plugged in right. And the extension speaker that I'm using, a small little test speaker, is plugged right into the front of the body. All the connections are in the front of the front panel. The control panel is, I don't have a control panel. I'll probably end up getting one because there really wasn't anything wrong with this radio. A couple of wires got snagged and were probably shorting out, and that S201 was probably the problem. And let me go ahead and just power it up. There you go. 3.83500. And that's basically its receiving. We'll click on, there we go, click on the volume, louder. You can see everything is working. I'm tuned into just a couple of locals talking. You know, but everything, I did a CPU reset. You can come up and you could actually do a complete reset. It controls just about everything with the radio. But I believe the radio is working absolutely perfect. The inside of the radio was really very, very clean. The PA section, I removed the shield. It was also in beautiful shape. And that's it. I mean, you can completely control the radio. You do not need the front panel on the TS-480 SAT. So $100. There you go. And I'll be on the hunt for a control panel. And we'll get the mounting cables. There, you know, there's a couple of filters. You can install 2 filters, a TCXO option. I'm going to dump everything into it. So that's it. This is N2LEN with the, well, it wasn't really a repair, but we'll say a quick repair of the TS-480 SAT body. If you have a problem where your control panel is not powering up the radio anymore, open up the radio, take a look at S201, switch 201, and see if it's in the down position. The radio will not power it up. It needs to be in the up position. Best 7-3.